because I had some inside information. Okay. A good friend of mine who trains with Spence and was with Spence like a month beforehand is, pro Spence. He told me, he said, Spence is not a shade of what he was. He's like, I wish Spence would not take this fight. He's not ready. Been in the ring with all that. And I was like, really? And then when I saw Spence Crawford, I'm like, oh, shoot. And then after that fight, I realized he really is not there.
Stop the cap.
Are you not entertained?
Peace, everybody. Sweet Science Boxing Academy. We back with another video. Alright, so actor Michael Jai White claims that Errol Spence was just a shell of himself way before the Terence Crawford fight, that he had an inside source, somebody from the Errol Spence team, who informed him that Errol Spence wasn't himself in training camp a month before the fight. Now, I'm listening to this, and I'm like, this is all cap, because Michael Jai White, I guess he's someone who like to hear himself talk. He believe his own lies. For years, he been on Vlad TV saying a whole bunch of crazy stuff, talking about he'll beat Bruce Lee, that he be in the ring sparring with champions of boxing and MMA fighters, and he always saying like he get the best of them and all that. Like, you never really hear him saying that he lost or someone was better than him in anything. And it's like, come on, bro. You're an actor. Don't get me wrong. I like his movies. And I like his martial arts abilities. But the type of martial arts that he does is not going to win you no fights. Like, there's a huge difference. That karate, kung fu stuff that he be trying to do, you'll get beat up in combat sports doing that stuff. And there's examples right here all on YouTube. You got fighters challenging all these karate masters and kung fu teachers and all that stuff, exposing that none of that stuff really win you no fights. It looks good on TV, it's good for fight choreography, but in actual combat sport, none of that stuff works. You get beat up. And I was just listening to an interview with Eric Kelly where he was talking about this, and he was like, Michael Jai White is not qualified to be even mentioning this. And this is the same thing how he got some stick in the MMA world a little while back for mentioning the same thing about their fighters. Now he over here mentioning about boxers, when in his movies he's not even a boxer. I think he played Tyson in the early 90s, but like, he's a martial artist, dude. Like, stick to that. And all this because, like he mentioned in the interview, he's an Errol Spence fan. And he's saying that his friend who told him all this information is someone who was sparring with Errol Spence and everything. Well, who was that friend? Because I'm sure Derek James and Earl now won't even have a person like that around speaking about stuff like this. And it's so funny because I bet you had Errol Spence won the fight, Michael Jai White wouldn't even told that imaginary story. But because he lost, and he lost in devastating fashion, now he got this imaginary friend who just so happened to be in the Errol Spence team, who witnessed this diminishing Earl in training camp before Terence Crawford fight. It's like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, ain't nobody believing that stuff. But he knows somebody like Vlad probably would. Vlad don't know no better. For us, boxing people, boxing realists and purists and aficionados, whatever you want to call it, like, we understand. And a lot of people already know that he just be blowing smoke anyway. So when I seen this, I just was like, that's cat. Now, if you want to see the full video, I'll leave the link for the interview in the description box below. You can check it out for yourselves. But when you look at it and see what he's saying, you're going to say the same thing. And it's funny because he's talking about Errol Spence is a shade of himself when Errol Spence had the best performance of his life right before the Terence Crawford fight. And that was when he broke Udonis Uga's face. He beat that man senseless. And he would have stopped Danny Garcia if it wasn't for a 6 toe keeping him up. But because Terence Crawford made him look average, made him look below average actually, now he steps behind. And because Errol Spence was in car accidents, they can use that as an excuse. So when Michael Jai White talking about he ain't trying to take credit away from Terence Crawford, well, that's exactly what he was doing. So you can't try to justify it. You said what you said. You're an Earl Spence fan, so it is what it is. But that's all I got for now, guys. Let me know what y'all think. Drop y'all comments down below. Make sure I hit the like, subscribe, and hit the bell. I'll see y'all the next one. Peace.